What is up, guys? Welcome back to a sudden surprise emergency episode of Boleros. Gab here, the Sultan of Sando, with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Maui Yap,
Hindi
who
kinaya, di
wanted to go
mag-episode, bro.
on tonight because we are so hyped for this episode, because we were so hyped for the game a while ago. A preseason thriller between the rivals Ateneo and La Salle in the Asia Basket Tournament. Just a few hours ago in the Moro Lorenzo Sports Center in the Ateneo campus, I thought we were gonna get a glimpse of the UAAP season from both these teams, Maui. I did not think we were gonna get the entire package in a preseason game. Both teams played essentially their UAAP rotation. I think this is it. Siguro a bit of Henry Agonane from La Salle and whoever else that Ateneo is gonna recruit. But this is essentially si Lebron Nieto siguro is gonna come in and essentially that's it. Yun lang yung kulang sa rotation ng Ateneo and La Salle for UAAP season 88. This is essentially it. This is a preview as good a preview as we're gonna get for UAAP season 88 from both these teams. So the final score 95-92, La Salle eking out a 3-point win against the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Maui, we have to talk about this game. Let's start first, of course, from the winning team. Mga Atenista kami, but we also have to talk about the team that won this game. Impressively won this game in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, the De La Salle Green Archers. Maui, your initial reactions to the win a while ago by the defending first runner-up in the UAAP, the De La Salle Green Archers. Maui.
I think kailangan first reaction mo talaga, what a game by Big Mike, Motor Mike Phillips. I think this showed that he will be, without a doubt, without question, the best UAAP prospect for season 88. Diba? I don't think anybody can touch this man for next season. 33 points and 26 rebounds, 11 offensive rebounds, just killing Ateneo inside. Foul trouble, Kyle Ong. Foul trouble, Divine Adili. We were robbed of a Divine Adili game. Diba? Kasi we were only able to watch him for 9 minutes, and that's because of Motor Mike Phillips. Grabe. Just fully unleashed yung strengths ni Mike Phillips a while ago. We talked about him, I think, in our previous episode, and we mentioned that La Salle might use him as a facilitator. But during this game, he was mainly used as a pick and roll guy, a drop pass target, and really focused on his main strength, which is rebounding. 11 offensive rebounds, so many putbacks, so many dunks. I think he had 3 to 5 dunks a while ago. What a game by Mike Phillips. But I think we were spot on mentioning that La Salle will rely heavily on 2 of their top recruits, which is Kian Baclaan and Jacob Cortez. The first half was mainly Jacob Cortez show. I think he showcased yung explosiveness niya, getting into the basket with ease, creating easy opportunities, a lot of dunks, a lot of open 3-pointers for his teammates. And Kian Baclaan showing us why he is one of the clutchiest, is there such a word, in the UAAP, reminding us that he is one of those main key guys back from season 86. What a thriller. I think La Salle showcased basically yung rotation nila for next season, as you mentioned. Mason Amos also hitting some key shots, but it was really a Kian Baclaan show in the end. Jacob Cortez start and Mike Phillips on 4 quarters just demolishing yung Ateneo game. I think si JC Makalalag also deserves to be mentioned as a key guy for La Salle, acting as that third option, third ball handler, shot creator for La Salle. Grabe. 5 minutes to go in the game, I didn't expect that La Salle would mount such a rally, being down 10 points to Ateneo at in their home court, the Moro Lorenzo Sports Center. But the veterans just showed how it's done in the clutch. Kian Baclaan was fantastic down the stretch. Mike Phillips was unstoppable ng fourth quarter. I mentioned, Gab, in our group chat, Boleros group chat, that I think he had 24 and 14 early in the fourth quarter, and he ended with 33 and 26. Even if you have his full game totals, it would have been a monster game for Mike Phillips. But yeah, crazy. This is La Salle showcase yung talent talaga nila coming into next season. This is why we think La Salle is without a doubt a top contender. Maybe second to UP right now in the UAAP. Grabe yung talent on the floor, and I think they showcased yung yung advantage nila in the talent level and experience nung late game. Crazy. We're not even halfway through the off season and we get probably one of the best games. Best Ateneo games the past few years.
Actually, Maui, start pa lang ng off-season. We just had our what to watch in the in the preseason episode a few days ago, and now we get this. So much to take up. Yeah, you started with Mike Phillips, and you're right. I think every Atenean who was there cannot doubt the greatness and amazing ability and motor of Mike Phillips. There's a reason he's called Motor Mike. Sabi mo nga, Maui, that's his main strength. That was his main strength coming into the UAAP, and it's all here. This is his best role.
Overdrive.
Grabe. Over and over again, just out jumping, out hustling, boxing out anyone from the Blue Eagles front line, whether it was Kim Aniladi, whether it was Divine Adili, Josh Lazaro, Kyle Ong, no one. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, there's no one on Ateneo who can guard this guy. And I think sabi mo yun sa akin, yung wala tayo pang matchup kay Mike Phillips. At sabi ko sa iyo, I don't think anyone in the UAAP has someone that can match up with the Mike.
Wala na si QMB.
Wala na si QMB, exactly. QMB is not here anymore. There is no one on the same level as Mike Phillips. You're right. I think you did call it. He's gonna be a front runner for MVP. I don't think there's anyone close. Maybe si VJ Pre FFU if he shows that development. But
or Konate, if he plays 40 minutes a game.
Maybe. But I don't think no one's gonna come close to Mike. Grabe. If he had that big putback in the final few seconds to give La Salle the lead, he really just won this game. I mean, a lot of the big shots were in Baclads in the final few minutes, but Mike Phillips gave them the lead after that alley-oop pass to Josh Lazaro by Jared Bahay. Grabe. I cannot hate on him. I mean, yeah, I think for, if you're playing against him, like UP fans don't like Mike Phillips because, he's an instigator. He likes to shout, to motivate his teammates, to flop sometimes. But you cannot deny when the guy plays like this. You cannot deny how good this guy is. And if there's ever an audition for
SBP, baka naman.
Yeah, exactly. If there's ever an audition for SBP, hey, maybe you'd really want to expedite the process of making this guy a local and having him play as a local. This is it. Just freaking unstoppable. Gave Divine Adili a learning lesson for a learning experience of a lifetime because, bro.
Welcome to the UAAP.
Hindi ba UAAP? Welcome to the college division. Diba? Welcome to the college division game for Divine Adili. Mike Phillips just outclassed you to no end. I cannot say enough words for Mike. You cannot hate on this guy. He's so nice also on the court sometimes. Sometimes he...
Kahit yung interview niya, bro. Post-game.
Yung kahit may isang po siya, may dunk siya on a fast break and he nag-celebrate siya and then he kicked the ball out of bounds. Nag-sorry siya sa ref. Oh, sorry. I kicked the ball and gave the ball back to the ref. That's how nice of a guy he is. Yeah, he's a hype man. He likes to hype up himself and his teammates. He does a lot of things that anger the opposing team. But grabe, a nice guy, and what a game by Mike Phillips. Also, the investment by the La Salle management on Jacob Cortez and Kian Baclaan. looks like it's gonna pay off big time because as you said, first half, Jacob Cortez just getting into the paint at will, putting a lot of Ateneo defenders on skates. Ian Espinosa was on skates for a lot of possessions because Jacob Cortez with the hezzy, no look, and then crossover. Oh, you're gonna look at the guy setting a screen. I'm crossing over and getting into the paint. Amazing playmaking. Yes, his free throws did not go in this game. I think it was 5 of 8 from the free throw line. He was only 5 of 15 from the floor. Could not get his jump shot to fall and even his 3-point shot. But you cannot deny that this guy has playmaking for days. He's gonna create shots for majority of his teammates. And what else can I say about Kian Baclaan? His genes, his clutch genes, seem to have passed from his NU days and now to his time in La Salle. It's gonna be yung tama tayo in our last episode, Maui. It's gonna be a show between him and Jacob Cortez. They're gonna take turns. They're just gonna take turns breaking down the defense, running pick and roll, running dribble handoffs yung with Mike Phillips. That's the way it's gonna be. And I love it. I just love watching these two. They're just so good. They're two really good point guards. May swagger din sila. May angas. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, may bagay sila sa La Salle. Bagay na bagay sila sa...
Gumagano pa sila, bro.
Oh, gumagano. Waving to the Ateneo crowd. Bye-bye. As they won the game. Bagay sila sa La Salle. That La Salle angas seems to have rubbed off on them, and I'm happy for the Green Archers. They're gonna contend. They are definitely with UP there as one of the top contenders for UAAP season 88. So a great win by the De La Salle Green Archers. You cannot hate on that win. Kahit na Atenista, para kami ni Maui, amazed pa rin kami sa pinakita ng mga La Salle players.
Great basketball. We always love great basketball. Tsaka Gab, goosebumps. Goosebumps si Jacob Cortez. It brought me flashbacks to early 2000s. Yung tatay niya, bro. Oh, to his dad.
Same moves
May swag talaga, may swag.
Yep, exactly. Now, yeah, we hampered on a lot of we hammered on about a lot of praises on La Salle. However, we do have some observations regarding the De La Salle Green Archers. No, some guys who we thought would crack the rotation did not get to play, and as we said, they played their UAAP rotation. Some notable guys, Alex Konov, bro. I think it's time to rethink your future, bruh. This is not looking good for you. Looks like you're riding the bench for another season.
Baka tumatawag na Beda tsaka JRU, bro.
Yeah, you might want to consider transferring somewhere else, bruh. Mason Amos definitely staying until season 89. There's still Luis Pablo. Who knows whoever is still coming in. Doesn't look good for you right now, my man. So, I don't know. Might want to reconsider your choices right now. Matthew Rubico, another guy, I thought he was going to be the primary backup, to be honest, to either Baclaan or Cortez. Maybe get some minutes there. It does not look that way. I think I mentioned this in some of my replies to some of our commenters in our past episode. They were saying that Rubico should stay in La Salle because now there are minutes opening up for him, and I thought so too. Akala ko rin talaga, Maui, na he's gonna get some time here. I mean, they have 2 point guards who can play either position. He's gonna get some of the minutes, but it looks like they're still sticking to some of their guard rotation from last season, which is Makalalag and Dungo, and si Asi Abada must come back. So I don't think what's his minutes upside now. I thought 10 was gonna be tops, 10 to 15 tops. I think 5. He'll be lucky to get 5 minutes a game.
Guliana and Marasigan pa, diba?
Exactly. Guliana and Marasigan are still there. They still have this other guy, si Justin Benaventura, who has not been playing. Ethan Alian is still there on this team. We've seen Matthew Rubico play in the preseason and during the UAP season. he was, he showed flashes, and we actually, the two of us, and actually si Sammy too, we think that this guy, if given minutes, can actually be a pretty good point guard and be productive. And I think La Salle fans think the same way. I mean, they've been watching this guy for how many seasons already. He's another guy that maybe you should rethink your future, my man. I mean, what's your upside in this La Salle team? Rotation minutes when in your 5th season? That's probably it. I don't foresee him getting minutes anytime soon. That was not a good sign for these two players who we thought would actually get a crack yung at rotation minutes. On the bright side, we did see the return of Ryle Melencio and Earl Abadam. So I'm happy that they're back from injury. If you remember, Earl Abadam suffered an ankle fracture in, I think, early second round, or was it the end of the first round, and was not able to come back for the rest of the season. Si Ryle Melencio, a big recruit out of La Salle, Zobel, I think, or was it Green Hills? I think it was Green Hills. And he got his ACL got torn. I think it was second ACL tear, and before season 87. So I'm happy that they're back. But for the guys who we thought were gonna crack the rotation, it does not seem like it's gonna pan out for them. Any other thoughts, Maui?
Yeah, I think yung free throw shooting na La Salle, we have to say also from a while ago. I think they shot, I'm looking at the FIBA stats right now. It's available online, guys, sa Asia Basket.
5 of 14 si Mike Phillips.
5 of 14.
Yung nag-continue ata yung game 3 sa utak niya eh. So,
but he was able to hit the game leading free throw, diba? But going back, not only Mike Phillips, the whole team shot 22 of 41. Diba? They got 41 free throws. I think that was that showed yung might nila talaga against Ateneo. Ateneo had no choice but to foul them in certain occasions. Failure to close outs, and mostly si Phillips manhandling yung front court. But I think La Salle has to hit more. Diba? If you're facing a team like UP, you can't have games where you miss 19 free throws and expect to win the game. Diba? This is a team that they can manhandle Ateneo. But when it comes to a team like UP, every point counts, as we've seen, diba, in the past 2 finals edition. Diba, games have been decided by less than 5 points. And Mike Phillips, if you want to be a monster, you have to hit your free throws, man. I think ito na talaga yung butas na. His free throws and his outside shooting. If he can correct this too, if he can get closer, just get closer to 70%, I think another beast will be unleashed. Imagine if Phillips just hit couple of his free throws, he would have had a 40-20 game in a 10-minute game. That speaks volumes on how crazy his game was a while ago and how there is still upside. Diba? They always say that is this already the peak of the team, but there is a lot of upside for La Salle. They weren't even hitting a ton of three-pointers a while ago. Remember, during last season's UAAP finals, we mentioned that three-pointers played a big part in determining the champion, diba, of the season. Which team will hit more three-pointers usually wins the game. So 3 for 21 a while ago, so something to improve on, especially if you have Mike Phillips and 2 very exceptional ball handlers and shot creators. I think they have to, the shooters, the wing guys have to hit more of their three-pointers.
Yep, exactly. And to your point, one of the shooters was Mason Amos. And I want to get your thoughts, Maui. What did you think of Mason Amos now that we've seen him with a full roster yung of La Salle? Thoughts? I mean, the atmosphere was lit. Is that what the kids say nowadays? Lit AF. because every time Mason touched the ball, there were boos raining down. He was playing back on his old stomping grounds and had a decent game. But I want to get your take, Maui. How is Mason Amos? How was he a while ago? What do you foresee for Mason in this Asal roster?
Ba magalit sa atin si our friend Mason, but still a decent game, as you mentioned, considering all of the boos, all of the pressure, and facing his former team, diba, the arch rivals Ateneo Blue Eagles. But I would be disappointed if I were Mason. Kasi the expectations for him was to really transition to a wing player like Kevin Kiambao. I don't know if that would be the case in La Salle now that he has to play with two heavy ball handlers the next two seasons. It looks like he's relegated to his old role in Ateneo, which is really to space the floor, act as a pick and pop player. There were times that they ran some post up plays that was refreshing. In times where he created his own jump shot, but I don't know. He has 2 playing years, diba? He lost 2 playing years just because of transferring. I don't know if that transfer will pay off. I'm still hoping. I'm one of the biggest fans of Mason Amos since he suited up for FIBA Asia for the Philippines. I still think there's upside. I think there's a reason why Coach Tim has decided to continue to put him, diba, in the pool or the roster of Gilas. But I don't know if he will be able to showcase his talents in La Salle with Kian Baclaan, with Jacob Cortez and Mike Phillips still there. Maybe the upside is there once Mike Phillips leaves. But I don't know, Gab. Do you see him transitioning to a wing in a season? Because it looks like that he will be playing his natural position of 4 and will still be doing basically what he did for Ateneo the previous season.
Actually, Maui, ang opinion ko, he's doing even less than what he did for Ateneo in his rookie season. If you remember his rookie season, Coach Tab was running a ton of down screens, flare screens, just to get Mason the ball for an open 3. They were running a ton of post-ups for Mason Amos to get the ball. They ran some a while ago, but it was only like, 2 or 3 possessions when they only ran that. But for the most part, Mason is just standing in the corner. That's his role. And that's a valuable thing for La Salle. Don't get me wrong. That's pretty valuable when you have a deadly shooter like Mason Amos standing in the corner. We'll talk about that later with Cal Gamber and why that is so valuable for the Blue Eagles. But having a deadly shooter just stand in the corner is very valuable. It creates space for guys like Ian Baclaan and Jacob Cortez. But if you're Mason Amos, and we talked to Mason on this podcast, on this very channel, we talked to him, and he said his goal is really to make it to leagues like the KBL and the B League. If he can get there, you get the bag, you get a big contract, you get big money. But in 2 seasons here in La Salle, he's gonna play with Baclaan and Cortez. He's probably gonna have the same role next season. I mean, Mike Phillips is leaving, but he's not playing center. At least I don't think he is, right? Mason Amos is not gonna transition to that. He wants to be a wing or a stretch 4. I don't know. That's the downside. No, yes, he's gonna win. He's definitely gonna be in position to win a championship. He also stated that he also wants to win. So that's a big thing that he will gain for transferring to La Salle. But are you gonna rack up in enough numbers yung being a spot up shooter? I don't think so. I don't know. He definitely still has minutes. I think he has the upper hand right now over Luis Pablo, because Luis Pablo yung main competition for minutes. To be honest,
Yeah.
he played 30 minutes in this game compared to Luis Pablo's 12. So he still has the upper hand. He's gonna get a ton of minutes. Whether he gets the amount of touches that he desires, I don't know. And from our interview with him, he does expect that. He thinks he's good enough to get the ball for a ton of possessions, and I don't think he's gonna get it here in La Salle. Not
Too
with
many
Mike
mouths to
Phillips.
feed.
Yeah, not with Phillips, Cortez, and Baclaan playing simultaneously with him. Defensively, I actually was pleased.
Ako
There
rin,
were a few
actually.
times. There were a few times, I think, in the first quarter and even in the third and fourth quarters, where they were hunting for Mason. His former teammates were hunting for him, and he was not getting killed. I mean, there was a fast break where he blocked Sean Tuanyo layup attempt. There was another fast break where there was another. I think there were two possessions that Sean Tuanyo just really said, "Give me Mason," and Mason stood his ground. So I'm happy that he's improving there. I mean, That was his weak point when he was playing for Ateneo. Guards hunted him a lot because he was a slow-footed big man. Now it seems that he's improved on that end. So I'm happy that he's still working on that. So maybe there's hope, no. But offensively,
Small steps.
No,
Maybe small steps. Yung improvements na, it's just not, it's not really, I think on the other end, you talk about the offensive end, we don't foresee him really getting probably the same usage or even the usage we expected, diba, in his sophomore season in Ateneo if he didn't transfer.
Exactly. All right. We've spent 20 minutes on the DLSU Green Archers. Now, it's time. Maui, we've held back for 20 minutes already, or 20 to 30 minutes already. We've held back from talking about our beloved Ateneo Blue Eagles. Maui, are the Blue Eagles back? Is Ateneo back?
Should we call it out this early? But yeah, I think the previous year kasi all we talked about was hope. All we talked about some glimmer of hope, some potential. We wanted to see their potential. We wanted to see how they would do during the next 2 years for this rebuild. I was talking to one of our friends, si Nico, who called out the game actually a while ago sa Asia Basket. Congrats, Nico, for calling out that game. We were surprised kasi is this true? Is this correct? We Ateneo fans are spoiled. Are we only going to wait for one season? Are we only going to be penalized for one season and we're going to be a Final Four contender again after one season? I think after this game, I can seriously say that Ateneo has a chance for next season. A better chance than last season. Kasi, nowhere to go but up, di ba? I mean, remember last off-season, to all Ateneo fans, remember last season, when Ateneo was, I think, 0-7 or did not win in Pinoy Liga, did not win in the Phil Oil tournament, di ba? They couldn't beat a UAAP team and we see them play this weekend. They beat San Beda. Kasi, sorry to St. Clair, but that wasn't the real test to start. Di ba? But they defeated San Beda like yesterday, and then now they go head-to-head. They even get a double-digit lead against this La Salle team who we think are a top contender in the UAAP. If we're talking about just some glimmer of hope, then we have that definitely for this Ateneo team, di ba?
What a way to hype up the Blue Eagle fans. Let's go.
We have that hope. We have that hope, not like last off-season where people were just hoping and praying that Coach Tab has some magic that we will eventually be contenders, di ba? But that wasn't the case from last season, di ba? We lack firepower. We lack people who can create. We lack people who can score. I think what's very evident very early on for Ateneo is that we have enough people who can score. We have enough people who can create. I think Jared Bahay will see less double teams in the half court. And I think other people will sign, as we've seen in the offseason with Kyle Gamber finally breaking out, Ian Espinosa clearly being a more comfortable floor general, and si Tuano, diba? I think si Tuano is legit. He will have a big UAAP season next year. I think the only thing I'm waiting for is si Drew Bongo. We haven't really seen a breakout game for him. I don't know if he'll be consistent this season. But so far, Kimani Ladi and Divine Adili have been great additions to Ateneo.
They've been sent by the gods, Maui. Both of them.
Better than
for Blue Eagle fans, diba?
Better than I expected, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect with Kimani Ladi. We've had a lot of overblown, overrated Phil-Am players in the UAAP, even Division 1 players. But Kimani Ladi looks legit. And he looks like a very versatile player. Diba? He can hit from the outside. He can create. He has a mid-range game. He can drive to the basket. That was a crazy reverse layup a while ago. Divine Adili
he knew that Mike Phillips was gonna go for the block if he dunked it, so he just put it underneath.
Showcasing his athleticism. I think Ateneo fans can remember some resemblance to Kai Balungay 2 seasons ago. Very similar players in my opinion. But I think si Ladi is more of a wing player than a big man. Si Balungay was more of a big man who can stretch the floor. Divine Adili was unfortunately eaten alive by Mike Phillips a while ago, but I think he had a pretty good game. He had 9 points, 9 rebounds in 9 minutes. I think the game against San Beda and the game against St. Clair showcased his talents. I think I can 100% say, sorry to Balogun, but I can 100% say that he is better than Balogun was.
I have to avoid mentioning Balogun in this episode because we've said enough bad things about him. But yung Maui, minention mo na naman.
We have to see it because we're comparing it. We have to compare the FSAs. I think we've said on this channel, the FSA slot and the point guard slot are two of the most important positions in the UAAP. There's a reason why UP, there's a reason why La Salle are the top teams. They had QMB, they had JD Kagulangan. They still have a lot of firepower in the point guard slot. I think the question right now for UP is who will be that big man. But you saw during the game a while ago how important that point guard slot was with Baclaan and Cortez basically taking over in the first half and in the second half, and Mike Phillips being a monster the whole game. I think Ateneo is in good hands with Divine Adili. I like that he has 5 playing years. He's a legitimate high school graduate from New Era. People are asking me, is he as good as Ange was during Ange? I seriously don't know the answer. He's been with Ateneo for a month. But so far, what I've seen, I've been very pleased. I've been very happy. I think he has a lot of upside. I think he's a very coachable guy. And I like how he has, how he shows yung emotion niya when he makes mistakes. Which is something that we like with Balogun. Diba? Kasi it shows how these guys really care about winning in the UAAP. But yeah, if I'm Ateneo fan, I'm hyped. Diba? Imagine what we had to go through last season, Gab. You mentioned this off air. Imagine what we had to go through during those 4 or 5 La Salle games from last season. Finally, a close game. It wasn't a blowout. But we almost won the game, diba? I mean, I think a lot of people are saying heartbreaking pa rin kasi we still lost that game. But there's a lot of reason to smile for me after that game, diba? I mean, it was heartbreaking to lose against La Salle. As it is always heartbreaking to lose against La Salle, whether it's a close game or a big or a blowout. But coming from last season, I think Ateneo has a lot of smile about. I think Coach Tab, we see the potential. We see that Ateneo has the potential to become a Final Four contender for this season. I think we have a higher upside than last season. Nowhere to go but up for Ateneo, I think, this season. Now, I don't know how they will fare against other UAAP teams. We see in the news that other UAAP teams have been stacking up also. But from a talent perspective, I would say I'm 100% confident that this Ateneo team is better than last season. Just look at Gamber. Just look at Espinosa. Just look at Tuano. They have really improved a ton. Even si Bahay. We will see Bahay fully unleashed. Diba? With all the firepower and more options for Ateneo. I'm happy. I think that's my initial reaction for Ateneo despite losing this game.
Yung kita-kita yung difference mo nung pinag-uusapan natin ng La Salle versus now na pinag-uusapan natin ng Ateneo, Maui. Medyo yung ngiti mo from cheek to cheek, lumalabas na yung dimples mo, lumalabas na.
Talo pa to. Imagine if we were able to upset them, diba, a while ago.
Yeah, I have to agree. We mentioned this in our last episode. What we were watching for Ateneo, one was development. Diba? Yun yung pinaka gusto natin yung mapanood sa Ateneo in their preseason games. How have our young guys developed? Because we were a young team. We're being led by very young guys. How have they improved? And the question is, they've improved a ton. Just look at, let's go by them one by one. We have enough time. Ian Espinosa, I think, has played better than Jared Bahay for majority of the preseason games. He's looked really good, really comfortable. You talk about a guy with some attitude and angas. man, he brought it a while ago. I think he stared down Earl Abadam when he hit the 4-point play yung over him.
Umaalan Iverson.
Umaalan Iverson kay Earl Abadam in the second quarter, I think. So, ayan. I love it, but it's a preseason game. Also, yung Luis Pablo preseason game, baka gusto mag face-to-face with the Ateneo bench. Come on, bro. So sabi ko, chillax lang tayo. Preseason game pa lang. But I love that the rivalry is alive. The rivalry is back. At least, if Ateneo's not back, at least the rivalry is back. Diba? At least it's there. We don't like 30-point blowouts. Even for La Salle fans, I think you're in agreement. Blowing out Ateneo by 30 is boring. You want to win by Ateneo in a clutch time. In like this, when the game is in
Iba yung tama. Iba yung tama pag ganyan.
Yes, exactly. So, I love it. I watched it live from Moro a while ago. Again, the atmosphere was lit. Ateneo fans booing Mason Amos. The La Salle players egging on the Ateneo crowd, staring down guys from the staring down the crowd whenever they hit a shot. I love it. And yes, there's animosity a bit, but there's a bit of friendliness also, but there's also some bit of bad blood between the two schools, which we always love to see. No? But we love competitiveness, and both teams gave us that a while ago. Again, back to Ian Espinosa. He's been playing really well. He loves to break the press. I think he's a very solid press break just all by himself. It's just the way he can start and stop. It's just a problem for teams. The way he can speed up suddenly yung decelerate yung slow down. That's pretty valuable. I think he scored. I think he top scored, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He top scored with 17 points. After a 12 points and 12 assists game, I think yesterday against San Beda. So,
player of the game.
I love it. I love what I'm seeing. And ako, right now, I'm happy we have a backup point guard like Ian Espinosa. When JB is not playing to his top form, we have a guy who can, I think I'm going to say it, who can possibly start for other teams. Ian Espinosa has been so good. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. After the 2 seasons that we've watched Ian Espinosa, and Ateneo fans have hated on this guy, right now, I'm just happy we have a guy like Ian Espinosa backing up Jared Bahay. Diba? When Jared Bahay is not getting any offense to flow, we just put in Ian Espinosa, and now he can make his own shots. He can knock down threes. He can knock down your mid-range shots. He can play make for his teammates. He's a peskier defender than Jared Bahay. I love it. I love what I'm seeing from Ian Espinosa.
Talk about
I can't believe I'm saying
character development. Diba? Character development.
Yes. Talk about character arc, Maui. From being the villain of his own school to now, I think he's gonna be beloved by the Ateneo fans from the way he's playing right now, and I hope it continues. I love seeing this from Ian. Ian, if you're watching this, and I know you sometimes do, salute to you, my man. You have played 2 hell of a games this past weekend. You mentioned Kyle Gamber. I think he's found his strength. I think he's found the skill that will keep him on the court and get him more minutes. That shooting is invaluable. I think I mentioned this to you, Maui, when I was watching the game. As soon as he entered the game, I think the first possession, 2 La Salle defenders just went to him. Diba? I don't know if you noticed that. First possession that
I did.
The game, there were 2 guys just on him.
Si Mason yata isa.
Si Mason yung isa because he knows. Diba? That's how valuable spacing was. And a lot of his 3-point shots came wide open because of the creation of guys like Bahay, guys like Tuanyo, yung guys like Espinosa, just getting it to him at spots where he was wide open. If he can he's been knocking it down, I think close to 40% or even more in the Asia Basket Tournament. That's gonna keep him on the court. That is invaluable. We kind of shit on Balogun, so you kind of shit on Balogun, so I'm gonna shit on another guy. those were the shots that Sean Quiteves, those were the looks that Sean Quiteves was getting last season, but he was not taking them. Now, these are the looks, and now Kyle Gamber is getting these looks, and he's knocking it down. Diba? So, big difference. You have in the modern basketball era, you need floor spacing. You need the guy who can knock down threes consistently. And if he can do that, he's gonna stay on the floor. Diba? It's been a disappointing first 2 seasons for Kyle Gamber. He hasn't found a way to stay on the floor in Coach Tab's rotation. But with that shooting, I guarantee you, he finished the game. Maui, he finished the game at clutch time in a close game. UAAP rotation for both teams. He finished the game for Ateneo. That says a lot, in my opinion. And I think he has the confidence now of Coach Tab Baldwin. I think I don't think he's gonna be a star this season, but I think he's gonna be in the rotation. That shooting is just gonna get him more touches. That's just it. So I love it. Congrats to Kyle Gamber for that. You talked about si Kimani Ladi. I love what I'm seeing. This is what we missed from last season. Just a guy who's tall. Okay, you can match up.
Di Balungay at Amos sabay.
Diba? Wala eh. So, at least now we have Kimani Ladi. His jump shot looks smooth. His 3-point shot looks smooth. He can drive to the basket. He's athletic. He can jump. He can play center at times, just like what Kai Balungay did. So, I love what I'm seeing so far. Yung from the Blue Eagles, Sean Tuano, still the same. You're getting to the basket, loves to drive. You hit a 3-pointer a while ago. So, but his jump shot is still a bit iffy. Still missed a couple of free throws. I think he was
3 for 6.
3 of 6. 50%. So a bit to improve there, Sean. But you love what you're getting from the Blue Eagles so far. You love to see the improvement. Divine Adili, 9-9 in 9 minutes is nothing to scoff at. I mean, the fact that you still had 9-9.
Plus 11. Tsaka plus 11. The 9 minutes he played.
At ang ganda, you said it in our chat, Maui. Ang ganda na hindi siya butterfingers, diba?
Maganda hands.
He can actually catch the ball and finish inside the paint. So, that's something. Again, he's 19 years old. 19. That's how young this guy is, and he's probably gonna start for Ateneo next season. I'll be very surprised if they don't start him or they don't put him in the lineup from what he's showing right now. A month into training with Ateneo, he's already showing this much potential.
Wag lang makuha ng Division 1 uli. Baka mag-God's love mga Ateneo uli.
Baka mag-God's love curse siya. Siguro some bad things about Ateneo. Jared Bahay, scoreless for 3 quarters. Did not get anything to fall in the first 3 quarters, and I think was thoroughly outplayed by Jacob Cortez for majority of this game. But from the positive side, you do love to see that he's trying defensively. I think that's a good sign.
Tumuha pa ng charge. Mike Phillips.
That was a charge, though.
That was a charge.
La Salle fans, I think you have to agree. That was a charge. I mean, he was standing there and Mike Phillips bulldozed over him. I mean, come on, refs. That was a charge, though. But yeah, I love to see that he's trying now on defense. Last season, there were times he just took defensive possessions off. I mean, you could see it if you were watching some Ateneo games. Now, at least he's trying. He's getting his hands in there. He's playing passing lanes. He's learning a lot, I think, from Ian Espinosa on the defensive end of the floor. And you love that despite being scoreless for 3 quarters, he still had the fucking balls to take all the shots in the 4th quarter. He made 3 threes in the 4th quarter and assisted on a Josh Lazaro alley-oop to give Ateneo a 2-point lead. So, yeah, hate him all you want, but down the stretch, he was still making the big plays for this team. To anyone who's still trying to find a go-to guy for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, that's what go-to guys do. Even if you have a bad game, when it matters the most, you're still asking for the ball. You're still trying to make the biggest plays of the game, and he did. I mean, he did. Yeah, it didn't work out in the end, but he made the plays. He made the right plays to help the team win, and that's what you want from Jared Bahay. Maui, any other observations from the rest of the roster?
Yeah, I don't know if it's avoidable, but actually I was talking to one of my friends regarding si Divine Adili a while ago. If we can just get to close to 20 minutes, 20 minutes playing time against Mike Phillips next game, I think that would be a huge improvement, diba? I think the minutes that he wasn't on the floor, Ateneo was really... there's a reason why Josh Lazaro was a minus 15 in 20 minutes. It's not because Josh Lazaro did not play well. It's really more of because La Salle was able to manhandle us more when Divine Adili wasn't on the floor. I think he has to be more mindful about picking up quick fouls. I think he had 2 quick fouls, which is why he was relegated to the bench the whole first half. That's a commodity for Ateneo, diba? As we've seen. I don't know if Porter will be eligible for season 88. We've been seeing him behind the bench. That's a good sign for Ateneo, but we don't have a lot of options when it comes to the front court. So Divine Adili is probably gonna be one of the most valuable pieces of Ateneo come season 88. Maybe second to Bahay and Ladi. But yeah, generally, positive speaking, I love how we had only 9 turnovers. Diba? Against a team like La Salle who pressures the ball a ton. Diba? I think si Bahay was the only one who had more than 2 turnovers. That was more a byproduct of him having a ton of usage. But we did pretty well a while ago. Maybe if some of our baskets, they were able to make some of their easy able to convert some of their drives to the lane, then maybe we could have won that game. But a very valiant effort for Ateneo to I think a lot of La Salle runs, diba? They were already mounting a rally in the second quarter, in the third quarter. I think that showed the resiliency of this team and their talent. That I think that's one of the biggest takeaway from a while ago. We have the talent to compete for next season. We just have to execute better and know how to close out games. Diba? I think that was one of the things that really hunted Ateneo in season 87, closing out games. And that was one of the things that happened today. We were not able to close out this game despite leading by 10 points with 5 minutes ago. I don't care how good La Salle is on paper or how that they are the runner-ups from season 87. We have to be able to have more composure late game. We have to be able to know how to close out games. Kasi last year, our youth was one of the biggest excuses that we were able to say. But now they have had a season under their belt. They've gotten usage. They've gotten experience. We have to do better closing out. I would love to see Ateneo in more games, in more close games in the off-season for them to be able to work on this more. I think we almost blew that lead against San Beda also during the game yesterday, but they were able to close it out. So that's going to be something very important to watch out for. Diba? Ateneo developing that go-to guy. Jared Bahay tried to be the hero a while ago, and I'm hoping that he continues to have that confidence in himself, even in games where he struggles. Diba? It was unfortunate. I think si Tuano struggled with cramps during the whole fourth quarter, which is why he wasn't really able to create. But generally speaking, I don't think there are a lot of negatives with Ateneo's loss today. Diba? We did not expect them to go toe-to-toe or even lead by double digits against La Salle and be able to sustain that lead. Diba? Kasi we've seen teams gone on big leads. We've seen Adamson, I think, lead by 20 points against UP and not be able to keep that lead. I think Ateneo has a lot to learn this off-season, but I think we have the upside to become a Final Four contender. I will not say a championship contender, right now. We know how good UP is. We know how good La Salle is. And maybe UST, who just won one of the tournaments this off-season. And how NU is continuing to shore up their lineup and will get an FSA for next season. So maybe for now, we can temper our expectations and say that Ateneo is a Final Four contender, but not yet at that level of La Salle and UP.
Yeah, so Ateneo is not fully back. They're sort of back, but not fully back. But there, sabi mo nga, Maui, there is hope. Ako, you were right. It's a good sign that despite the multiple runs that La Salle had, Ateneo responded. Especially in that first quarter, I think we started the game 11-2. Then La Salle made a 15-0 run. I thought, man, if this was last year's team, it would probably have folded and it would probably had been a blowout. But no, they came back and actually retook the lead. So that's a good sign. And even in the third quarter was our worst quarters for the past 2 seasons. Diba? Now we're not getting beat in the third quarter. We actually won. I think
we won
the third quarter.
We won the third quarter. But we lost the fourth quarter miserably.
We lost the fourth quarter. Oh, but we won the third quarter. So, you know what? We're not getting stomped upon in the third quarter anymore. But in the fourth quarter, we had the lead. We just, again, Maui, you said it. We just have to learn how to close out games. And again, if you're an Ateneo fan, if you're a La Salle fan, actually, you should both be happy in both of these games. In this game for both teams. It's just amazing to see UAAP level competition in March.
This early.
In March.
We love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ateneo and La Salle, for giving us something to talk about, for making us go on this podcast and have an emergency episode, for packing the Moro Lorenzo Sports Center, who doesn't even have bleachers. So, thank you for giving us this game. There's gonna be a ton more preseason basketball on the way. Phil Oil has not even started.
Pinoy Liga. Padating pa lang tayo sa exciting part.
Oh, padating pa lang tayo sa exciting part ng preseason. We have not had a La Salle UP matchup yet, and we all know that's gonna be fire. So lots to watch in the coming months. And the Boleros, with Sammy, of course, he's not here tonight. The Boleros will be there to recap, to explain, to emote about everything that happens within the UAAP. Emote, because you know, we're not shy about our emotions here, Maui. We wear it right on our chest here, on my bare chest, right here on Bolero. So that's it. Again, like, comment, subscribe to Boleros.
Share your thoughts.
Yeah, share your thoughts. I know maraming La Salle Ateneo fans have been waiting for this matchup, for the rivalry to be back. Ateneo's not fully back, but the rivalry is definitely back. So once again, this is Sam tuloy. This is Gab and Maui. See you in our next episode.